I'm Kelly Donegan, and I'm a final year PhD student at the Gillen lab in Trinity College, Dublin, Ireland. I presented on one of my projects in my PhD, which looks at understanding the brain mechanisms behind repetitive behaviors in people who have disorders related to habit. So this can span from people with bodily focus repetitive behaviors, including skin picking being hair pulling, but also tics, all the way to binges and eating disorders, and also OCD. As we all know, it takes a long time to form a habit, because when we're doing this in the lab, it limits accessibility, but also increases participant burden. So they have to come into the lab days upon days, and this could go from like days up until weeks. And so that's why I gamified a habit learning task, and it is available in our lab's free smartphone app called Nurica. And basically what we've done is over 7 days, just for a couple of minutes a day, we ask people to play this game where they have to learn associations between these falling cogs and button responses. And then after a couple of days, we're a little bit mean and we actually switch some of these. And then into tests, then we actually want to observe whether these people perform this newly trained response, or are they have this unconscious bias to perform the previously trained response. And so what this does is we can subtly measure then from these people just playing smartphone games, comfort of their own homes. We can subtly measure these brain mechanisms that we think are underlying these repetitive behaviors. And then we can use these to test if there's these distinct clinical profiles related to habit learning.
So you mentioned that it was online. Was accessibility something that was really important to you when you were figuring out, what process you would go to?
Yes, accessibility is hugely important to me. I believe that everyone should be able to be involved in science, but also science should be fun. Traditional tasks, I don't know if you've done them, but they often get a student sample. It's just they're convenient-based samples. So a lot of our research out there right now is done on these what we call weird populations. So white, educated, industrial, rich, and democratic populations. And so a lot of our results are not reflective of the entire population. And so smartphone is a really accessible way to get like larger samples, and B, diversify our samples as well. So we're getting different spans of ages, and currently in our app we have ages from 18 to over 80. Wow. We're getting a better spread of gender identification, so not just cisgender as well, but also including people with non-binary or transgender. And then we're also getting varying levels of education, spanning from no formal education as well up to doctoral. So we're really getting this nice spread of demographic characteristics, but also spread of clinical symptoms and severity as well.